Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk about something that I think is more of an unpopular opinion, and is regarding the Mega Man series, which, if you don't know, is one of my favorite gaming franchises. I love all the classic games in particular. My favorite one is the original Mega Man 1. Now, Mega Man 1 is an interesting game because when it's discussed, people always describe it as growing pains or a rough start, but that is definitely not what it is. Mega Man 1 is a phenomenal game, and I actually think it's better than games like Mega Man 2, and I can explain why in this video. If you guys like the video, subscribe and like, and this is my first time talking about Mega Man on the channel, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So a common thing people say about Mega Man 1 is the controls, and it's just too difficult, but the whole point of Mega Man is you keep playing and keep trying and you get better at the game, and that's not for everyone. If you don't like that type of gameplay, then Mega Man as a franchise probably isn't for you. But if you like playing the game and getting better at it, it is so satisfying to make it to the end, to unlock all the weapons and get really good, and then keep going along. Really, really fun gameplay. Now, the reason I like Mega Man 1 a lot is mainly because the balancing and the simplicity is great. Now, there is some bad weapons, like the Super Bomb, the Hyper Bomb, and the Super Arm, but at the same time, there's a lot of great weapons. The Rolling Cutter, Firestorm, and Elect Beam are amazing, as well as the Magnet Beam. All of them are really good weapons, and they all have a good use. Even the regular Buster is very useful. You can play the entire game with just the Buster if you want an extreme challenge, though I would only really do that if you're an expert. The overall stages just make sense. When you compare it to a game like Super Mario Bros., it's actually insane. Super Mario Bros. Has the same song on every single level, and every single level looks pretty much identical. In Mega Man, every level is different, both look-wise and sound-wise, having a unique boss and everything. Now, Mega Man 2 has great robot. I think every Mega Man game has great robot masters, and I don't really think that determines how good a Mega Man game is. But all the bosses are fun in the original Mega Man. Of course, the iconic Yellow Devil boss. And if you are a beginner, you can use the pause trick to get through the bosses. But personally, I like playing the bosses legit, and getting good at them is really fun. The enemies in this game are also really cool. One enemy that gets common criticism is the Big Eye. Big Eye is my favorite enemy in the Mega Man series. He does about a quarter or a third of your health if you get hit by him, and he could jump high and you could go underneath him. Using the Ice Beam, you can freeze him to get underneath of him, but he is very scary to avoid. But if you follow his pattern, which is kind of random, you can get under him, but it is very exciting trying to dodge him. He usually guards the boss gate door, which is really cool. Mega Man 1 also feels consistent in its level design, especially when it comes to the later stages in the game. Every boss at the end game is challenging, when in the other Mega Man games, the end game can be kind of can drag on a bit, and some of the bosses, especially in Mega Man 2, specifically the turret room, are just horrible. Reason I also think it's better is just because, for example, in most of the other Mega Man games, it's like there's one weapon or two weapons that just break everything. And you can make that argument for the Elect Beam, but mainly pointing at Mega Man 2, the Metal Blade just outclasses everything. And the thing is, people say to skip this game and go right to Mega Man 2. That's why I keep mentioning Mega Man 2. It's because people just act like Mega Man 2 just invalidates this game, and that is not true at all. The original Mega Man is worth playing. It is a fantastic game, and if you really look at it, if you really look under a microscope, Mega Man 1 is a better game. It is. Now, Mega Man 2, music and taste is subjective, but overall design of the game, other than the potential backtracking of the Magnet Beam if you don't collect it, Mega Man 1 is a more straightforward game. You just beat all the robot masters. End game bosses make sense, and the only thing that's kind of annoying is the Magnet Beam backtracking. But again, it's kind of hard to miss that. It did happen to me the first time I played it. I did have to backtrack and get the Magnet Beam, but overall, it's kind of hard to miss that. The bosses, you can start in many different orders in Mega Man 1. I know you can in Mega Man 2, but I feel like it's more flexible in Mega Man 1 with just the original Mega Buster. I think in Mega Man 1, the easiest ones to start with are Cutman, Bombman, and Fireman. I usually start with Fireman because the Fireman weapon makes it easier to get through Bombman stage. So I go Fireman, and then I go to Bombman, and then I use Bombman against Gutsman, and then I take Gutsman to Cutman. Gutsman beats Cutman, and then from Cutman I go to the Elecman. Then I take the arm, Gutsman arm, and I get the magnet beam while I'm there. Use the rolling cutter to defeat Elecman, and then finally I go to Iceman and use the Elect beam against him. And then I'm at the Wily boss. But the thing is, I could maybe start with Cutman and then go to Elect. Like, you know, you gotta get the super arm before you go to Elecman. But like, other than that, you could be very creative with the order you go in. And it's really fun because that allows opportunities to use weapons you usually wouldn't use in a certain level in a different level. Revisiting levels with weapons you never used before is really fun. For example, the Firestorm in particular, that weapon is super good. It invalidates so many of the enemies, and I really don't see a lot of people talk about it. The Elect Beam gets a lot of praise, which makes sense. You could literally fire it 28 times without having to refill it. And since you are shooting enemies with it, you're just going to constantly be refueling it with ammo. So yeah, the Elect Beam definitely is the best weapon in the game. But the Firestorm and the Rolling Cutter are both also really good. Of course, the Ice Beam has its niches, and you know, the Super Bomb and the Hyper Bomb and the Super Arm, you know, they have their niches, but they are a little bit weaker compared to the other weapons, as I said. But overall, Mega Man 1 definitely is my favorite game in the Mega Man series. It's short and sweet, it's fun every time I play it, music's great, I could start at many different bosses. The controls, you know, they're different than the other ones, but they're easy to get used to. There's not really an annoying level in there. If there is an annoying part, you could just use the magnet beam. And if you really, really want to, you could use the pause trick. Personally, like I said, I don't use it because I like defeating the bosses regularly. But yeah, it's just a very customizable game, and if you sit down and want to play the game, it is going to be really challenging at first. You are going to die a lot, and it is going to be pretty brutal when you first play it. But when you keep trying and trying and trying, you'll learn, and you'll learn the level layout, and it just gets so much more fun from there. You can beat the levels faster, and that's the whole fun of Mega Man. It allows you to be very creative, and it really does a great job at teaching you level design. But yeah, that's my take on Mega Man 1. I think the game is heavily underrated. What do you guys think? Would you guys like me to talk about Mega Man more? I'm trying to branch out. I'm still gonna make Plants vs Zombies videos, obviously, but I want to I want to make a lot of videos just to, get more interest. And I like talking about other things. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Take care. Bye.